Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's go. Come on. You won't start it. You won't start the stream.
Welcome to BitMonkey. Yeah, welcome. BitmonkeyTV. Episode
34.
My name is Scott.
I'm Marcelo.
We had
I'll
to
be
switch it
Marcelo
up.
for the
It's one of
evening,
those Fridays.
for this episode.
Having some fun, keeping it nice and light.
That's so funny.
Another episode of Non-Fungible Token Fridays. We're doing a round 2 with Austin over at One Blue Land, which we're very excited about. Fingers crossed, no technical difficulties on this one.
No promises.
I spent like yesterday testing on my end, and then Scott was here, and I was like, all right, an hour before, let's set it up. And I was testing on my phone in the back.
I think we might even gone over an hour. Like, it was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, easy. We just wanted to ensure a smooth ride for everybody involved, and so we can clip this one and give Austin a copy, because that last episode I was so sad about like the issues, right? I was like, man, I was just like let down, but Austin brought it. I'm looking forward to talking more in depth about his project. So, but we're just gonna kick off the episode. I know he's scheduled to come on here in about 20 minutes or so, and I'll just see if he's. Whenever I see him pop into the waiting room, really. And if you're watching, Austin, if you want to come in a little sooner than 4:30, just DM me, and we can make that happen. Yeah. Be happy to. But we're just gonna start off with Scott and I were talking about news in the space today, and I was thinking the best thing to talk about is Scott's very heavily involved in OniForce, right? He's been following that project. He brought it to my attention, and for me, it's been Punk's comic, and I'm sure everybody's heard of the drama going on with Beanie and whatnot.
Of course.
But for everybody's peace of mind, like it wasn't entirely clear, but Beanie is he's in the comic, but he has no say in that company. He's just a marketing head. He's a figure. G-Funk made it very clear that he has no pull on the organization, right? He started his own thing, Beanie Capital, supposedly. I don't know. It could just be him just talking out of his ear. Yeah. Anyway, like...
Did he say that in response to all the drama because of Beanie's drama recently?
Yeah. Did he come out so we're gonna let's walk through it. Let me just see if I think I heard a little beep. Yeah, Austin came on. So you know what? I'd like to switch it up. Let's bring Austin on. Hey, Austin, how you doing? I'm gonna I'll cut you over to the live if you're ready. Can you hear us? Oh. He might be getting that.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Testing. Can you hear us? We might need to go into here. Give us 1 second, Austin. Microphone.
Hold on, let me see. I can't hear you for some reason. 1 second.
Try a different microphone. Just try analog just to see what happens.
Interesting.
Just to see. Oh yeah, we'd actually see it going live there, I think. Right? Wouldn't it be picked up? I don't think we needed to do that. Everyone on our stream just heard that test sound. Okay, so everyone can, we can hear him, but I don't think Austin can hear us. There's the issue here.
I could hear you now.
Oh, okay. So we're working both ways then.
Cool.
Yeah, the only thing that's different, you'll notice, what you see with us is, let's switch it over here. Say hello.
There we go.
All right, so you're full screen there. We're just gonna switch it over.
Can you hear us, Austin?
Hey.
Hey, how
What's
you
up?
doing today?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me again.
Of course, yeah, man. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right.
No, this is round 2. We got this.
I know, right? We figured, we'd since you did hop into the waiting room, you heard my message there, dude. Figured we'd bring you on and we'd start talking about. Briefly, just kind of, we wanted to touch on 2 projects and kind of like our perspectives on them. And maybe we can take this as an opportunity to do a collaborative approach and have your input as well. And maybe you can voice any project and perspective of yours that you have that you want to share with the audience today,
Yeah, let's do it.
So
I missed the beginning a little bit because there was no audio, but just tune me in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
for... this episode, we're just doing the pleasantries. I did the monkey chant again. Scott left me hanging, And we were talking, we were going to both talk about our perspectives. Mine, since I'm involved in Punk's comic, right? What I've been experiencing with all the news going on. And then for him, since he has been all about the OniForce drop, how he's feeling with everything with especially how it's played out, right? And then just sharing our perspective, and if anybody in the audience wants to chime in, has some questions, or doesn't know something, you know, we would encourage the feedback and interaction, you know, through the chat.
Yeah. I'm curious, Austin, outside of course, One Blue Land, what are some like projects that are like on your mind, or something that you've invested in that you really believe in, or, you know, something that just strikes you as really interesting that you've seen lately?
Yeah, well, definitely what's behind me, VeeFriends.
There you go, of course.
I kind of regret it. I was looking into Punk's comics too, but at that time I was also looking into VeeFriends. So I most of the ETH that I got, I ended up going to VeeFriends. That's all right.
Marcelo's over here just moving cables. I think, are we back?
Yep, we're
I
back.
think we're good. Okay.
That's cool. I know you guys have Punk's comics, right? I think Marcelo has.
This guy does. This lucky guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ended up with seven because, you know, me and my sevens. But I was also, just like you, VeeFriends, right? I remember Punk's comic being released, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and the Bored Apes. I had my eye on a hologram with a cowboy hat. It was like 0.25, you know, but I was looking at a token for VeeFriends, and I was like, I trust VeeFriends more, so I went with VeeFriends, you know. In hindsight, man, it would have been nice to dip your toes a little bit more. But man, there's just so much going on at the beginning of May. I don't know if like you've looked back on that. Have you noticed and kind of reflected on how many projects, really meaningful projects, actually launched that month?
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
It was reflected on the gas fees. Oh man. I remember it was like 400, 500. It was, I don't know, it was insane.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in the NFT space at that time, and I remember seeing people tweeting about it being, you know, $500, $400.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think Oniforce, we saw 1,500 GUI at one point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know Cyberkongs were up at 1,800 when they dropped, and Oniforce had two other projects, can't count, two other projects dropping
up three fingers.
just around them. So, or I think at the same time. So they had gas wars too, but gas is I think always been an issue, and it'll be an issue for a while.
I'm gonna start off, so I'll chime in with the Punk's comic here really quick.
Yeah.
But for anybody who's watching who's unaware of what's been going on, you know, there's been drama with Beanie as per usual, right? But I think that's his role, right? His role is to capture attention and ideally funnel that attention to the Punk's comic. He kind of took it to an extreme. Like, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this, but he did take it to an extreme of really verbally abusing somebody else in the space. Many of you know, many of you don't. His name's Pranksy. I'm trying to pull up that specific. Let's go to Pixel.
Are you familiar with this this Beanie Pranksy drama, Austin?
Not the drama, but I was doing some research behind it back in the past, but not the most recent ones anyway.
Yeah. So it's better you're not in tune with it, right? Because I'm only in tune with it because I'm in that Discord and I'm curious on when how they're unraveling this launch with minting the meta heroes as well as staking and burning for moon tokens. Like, I'm very involved in it, so I'm curious, and we're definitely like keeping a close eye on it and taking a page out of their book for sure. But there was, I'm not going to pull up the
page out of their book,
right?
Aside from the Beanie drama.
Yeah, let's take all that out of here. So aside from the Beanie drama, I want to pull up, G-Funk addressed it. So G-Funk's one of the founders there. I'm not sure if you're familiar there, Austin. Let me just pull up. Man, they retweet a lot. I guess I could just go to
G-Funk. I wish that I had gotten a Punk's comic. I wish I was actually in you guys in like the early 2001, you know, getting into like, you know, even longer than that, I guess, with Austin, but getting into NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I still have to do a lot of research on Punk's comics, but that's also why I didn't really pull the trigger yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm learning from you guys.
Dude, there's so much with every project. I feel like you can dive in and spend like hours on each project, you know, figuring out who the team is, like figuring out like how they wrote their contract, you know, their roadmaps, learning about all of that, figuring it out. And I mean, learning from this guy, man, the team is so important these days. So important. And I feel like Punks has a really, really solid team, and you know, Beanie has done his fair share. Like, he's done really good things for the community, but also he's done things where you see, like, I've seen people sell off Punk stuff just because of Beanie and how he's reacted.
Yeah, it's almost like the cancel culture type of thing. And,
kind of,
and whether or not we believe with him, you know, G-Funk made it clear with this post, he is not responsible for any of the breakthroughs, right? And I don't know to that extent of how much he's involved in the R&D side of things, but I think it's little to none, right? It's his job just to capture attention, get people talking, and get that traffic towards. But he wanted to address the community comments and make clear that Pixel Vault, Punk's Comic, and Meta Hero are not Beanie's products. Beanie is an investor, advisor, and outspoken prominent. He does not work for the company nor take part in the day-to-day. We have a team of 14 hardworking and talented people. As founder and CEO, I want to make clear we do not agree with what was said. His words are not ours. We try to foster a community of inclusivity. We will continue to work to stay on cutting edge of technology, NFTs, DeFi, gaming, put out high effort projects, and build alongside our community of supporters. I'm very grateful for where we are today and look forward to building into the future.
Yeah.
I really loved this. And I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, right? I'm just going to cut back over to us real quick. But that just shows that Punk's Comic is in good hands right there. For him to address that as quickly as he did, I'm sure he's handling it a different way behind the scenes, maybe with Beanie directly. And we have noticed that Beanie did cut back quite a bit in that war between Pranksy and man. At the end of the day, we're all in this together, right? In my opinion, this should be an example of how to handle it with projects moving forward. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to create a cancel culture around somebody, draw that line in the sand for your project and try not to let that outside noise affect you internally too much, right? Because I think that's what they're doing over there at Pixel Vault is, yeah, that noise is there, and yeah, you can't get rid of it, but what you can do is draw your line in the sand on not necessarily what side you're on, but
I don't know. Honestly, I think they were just mitigating damages at that point.
You think so?
Yeah, they were trying to. I mean, not saying that they were deflecting some of the things he was saying, but they weren't really. I don't know. They shouldn't be responding to it in the first place. They shouldn't have to. But I think that for the most important thing for them and their company is their reputation, and they just don't want Beanie to, they want to sever that tie, because in my mind I thought he had way more of a role than that, so that helps put out
that's the thing,
clear
right?
distinction to everyone, that this is not a reflection on their company.
But that's in my opinion, that's exactly why they had to say something. It was their responsibility to say something, because they allowed the public to believe that Beanie was more in control than he actually is, has more of a say than he actually does, right? You and I both thought the same thing. I think it was definitely necessary. So I guess that's where we disagree.
What? We were disagreeing?
Yeah.
I don't think we disagreed.
Just a little bit.
What
it was a fun disagreement.
What did we disagree on?
On the fact that you're like, they didn't need to say anything about it. I was like, actually,
no, they did. I don't. Not that they didn't need to say anything, but they didn't want to. I can imagine.
Oh, I'm sure they
forced
didn't
their hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't have.
No, but this is the whole purpose of bringing up these topics, to like hear our perspectives and like chop it up. So Austin, we're gonna bring you in full screen here. We would love to hear your take. I mean, I know you're not involved in it too much, but based off of kind of what you heard, what's your 2 cents on that?
Yeah, I mean, just hearing it from you guys, from the small snippet of what's going on right now. I mean, I take NFTs, like investing in NFTs, for example, the same way as you invest in stocks. I think, like, number one is definitely who the founder is, who the team is, and we're all human. I feel like if there's gonna be mistakes along the way, or there's some things that'll happen that's not in the best interest of that company or that NFT, whatever. But I think it seems like, as long as the founder or the leader, as long as they take accountability and point the mistakes, just go out there and just be transparent about it. I think overall the company will still have a good future because or the NFT, whatever, right? Because it's very similar. I think it's just the you're investing in the human behind the project. Is what I'm trying to say. That's my take on it.
I love it. No, I love it. That's I couldn't agree more on that one, right? And you know, G-Funk doing what he did, that just made me believe in the project even more. You know, on that note. So I really love him standing up and even though it's not his fault, it's he's holding himself accountable and speaking, you know, shedding light on it.
Hey, speaking on the rest of the team's behalf too, you know, because I would imagine the rest of the team isn't they're not nearly as outspoken as Beanie is on social media, so I'm sure they get outshone all the time. So really kind of, you know, putting them on his back and being like, no, we mean business, and this is just, you know, this is something to the side that is not our main, you know, vision for the company.
Yeah. So, well, I love it. I love our hot takes there. So let's touch on Oni Force. I know we probably did that backwards, and then I want to get into One Blue Land, to be honest.
Let's talk about One Blue Land a little bit.
Yeah, let's get into it. Finish with that. So are you that upset with Oni Force?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I just want to hear more from Austin, because I don't think Austin, you're not invested into Oni. Have you been following it at all?
I'm not, but I would love to hear it from you guys, you know, because I'm learning here with you. So it's up to you. I mean, I would love to talk about Oni too. Sure. Whatever you guys. Is
it oniforce.com? Or you just want me to go to the OpenSea?
I think it's oniforce.com, but I guess yeah, we can jump into that. So their artist, I believe you say it's I'm Complex. It's IMCMPLX is the artist, and he's a really cool artist, digital artist. As far as I know from him, he has like a really cool style. I guess like you're seeing there, that's weird. It's all stretched. There you go. Yeah. But he has like a really distinct style with his colors and like really clean lines. He's done some collabs with, I think he did, what is it, Bushido Apes? Is it like a Samurai Ape kind of thing? He did a collab with them where he did a derivative, and they did a bunch of derivatives for like just of like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I forget what they're called, but his art is always just really clean, and you look at it and you kind of just know, like with the lines and like his use of color. But Oni Force, from the start, I saw it, I was like, man, this is a really, really sick, like clean style. It's a profile picture project or avatar project, but it's more than that. Their Discord's like super, honestly, one of the most involved Discords I've seen in a while, where like when you interact and stuff, you're given a different role, and like it's almost like a role-playing game of sorts in their Discord, where there's different tribes or whatever. You know, there's the Nameless, and then there's some other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. But they've sort of developed this really unique backstory to them, and so they're on the surface level, they're these avatar projects, but there's a lot more into it, like with the story and all of that. And they're gonna do a comic book down the line. But this is it was like, when I first heard about it, it was essentially like, not that it was non-existent, but it was a very, very small community, and it's sort of grown, and they almost like got to the point where they maybe amassed too much attention, and it became one of those hype projects where like it had gas wars, and a lot of people who had been, you know, excited about it from the beginning and maybe didn't have as much time to sort of spend in their Discord doing the Nameless role-playing stuff, sort of got, I don't know, turned off a bit by the impending gas wars, like the doom. And I sort of fall into that category where I was really excited about this, and I wanted to buy into it, but I essentially decided it would probably be safer to go buy on secondary. You know, they did a pre-sale, so buy off that, like pre-revealed, or buy something else pre-revealed. And they sort of have been, I think with this launch, like kind of jerking people along a bit, where like they revealed, and then, or they launched, they did the pre-sale, and then they did the regular sale, the public sale, and supposedly everyone thought, you know, reveal was in the same day, and they're like, no, reveal will be.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah, then they said reveal tomorrow, and we're like, okay, cool, fine, whatever, we wait. So then people were reselling now for like 0.1 Ethereum less than they were selling before, and it was like, okay, whatever. People are, you know, they brought the price down, cool. they did it again where today they put, okay, no, reveal tomorrow, and now prices are coming down again too. So it's like this weird thing where it's like, I'm so excited for it,
right?
And now the actions, you know, the way they've rolled out at the end here, sort of brought that excitement level down a bit.
That's and I'm leaving the roadmap on the screen because I don't want to neg the project, but looking at their roadmap, I don't think they were planning for the hype. It looked like they were planning for a slow rollout, that they were going to execute certain things during, you know, the initial rollout, but they sold out in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
5
how
minutes
in the
flat.
world can you assemble the Discord, create a merch store, you know, all these things, you know, so they didn't probably plan for all that. And
it's actually kind of funny and
it's crazy, right, to think about.
It's like a bit outdated to have like a percentage sales in your like sellout. Or it's not outdated, but a lot of these projects get so much hype, like that doesn't even matter because
that's because it's like you
launch to sale.
They're all on the list.
Yeah.
It's
then the roadmap gets condensed and
yeah,
collapsed together. It's kind of weird. It's strange. I do agree with that, and we'll just have to see what the team does. But you know, to go back to that same sort of thing. So I told him about this earlier. There was something I didn't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it here on air.
Oh, he's surprising me, so I guess we're getting a sneak peek.
No. So there was this project, you can leave it on this, but it was like this, sort of where I bought into it, and I should have done my research where I looked at the team, you know, I looked at everything.
Oh, you didn't even show me this.
Yeah, I didn't even show you it.
He told me he had a regret from earlier. I was like, what?
I was so bummed.
I was like, what do you regret? You just
So
got
I
here.
didn't even look at it. I was like, okay, I saw the art. I'm like, I like the art. Mint price was good, and I sort of jumped in. I bought 3 of them, so it's not a big deal. But no, let's not pull it up. I don't want to even give them. I don't even want. Oh, you're gonna pull up my wallet.
Pull up your
Sure,
wallet.
pull up my wallet.
Okay, it's public record, bro.
I was just gonna say I don't even want to give that project.
I was gonna ask how much was it?
It was only 0.07 for the mint, so it's not like I ate like that hard. I bought 3 of them. I don't know where they are. I bought 3 of them, and so like I get it, right? Because I'm anticipating like everything. I feel like I almost anticipate Gasoor now. Yeah, right.
The Lost Glitch.
And so I was like, cool. It just launched. I sent in my order. It got approved like immediately. I'm like, that's weird. Those are really quick transaction. And I go back to see like how many it actually sold, and they hard stalled at like 25% sold. So like they sold 2,500 out of 10,000. And now everyone's kind of sitting around like, well, how long do we wait around to see if this sells out? So almost worse than having like, you know, investing in a project and then it's selling out and then seeing the floor drop. Now this one's not even selling out and I don't even get the satisfaction.
So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt though. Like,
yeah, that's all I have for them at this point.
I think we're so accustomed, right? And maybe we're even to the point spoiled on the fact that we have a lot of projects sell out instantly.
Yeah.
We see floors rise instantly.
Yeah.
We see things crash instantly. We're like torn left and right.
It's like immediate.
When I don't think that's going to be the norm long term.
Yeah.
I think the norm is a well-structured organization in the form of a project, executing on an idea, right? And bringing value long term.
Yeah.
The problem though is a lot of the attention and activity are short-term economics or short-term mindsets, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that offends anybody watching, but it's just a fact, right? So I wanted to touch on that. Those are my 2 cents on that. Like, I don't want to neg that project, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because, like, you just never know.
It was a huge oversight on my point.
Sorry, I was just jumping between scenes right there, but I'd love to hear your 2 cents on this, Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for any project, as long as I think the number one thing, as long as the team creating it, there's passion behind it, and you know it's providing some sort of value, I think it'll do good in the long term. Like I really don't like necessarily projects that go skyrocketing like within the first day of release. I think it's good because then it shows demand.
Yes.
And really good marketing, I guess. But I think in the long term, it's gonna be those projects that have that passion behind it, that long term vision, that's really gonna exist, like you guys.
Yeah.
You're
Likewise.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, Yeah, I mean, I don't really think the good projects are necessarily not necessarily created yet, even, right?
Yeah.
100.
I think it's
Yeah.
under creation right now. So I'm super
Exactly.
excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I love it. Likewise. No, I couldn't agree more on that front. Like, we haven't even seen like a percent of what's going to be out, you know, in the next decade, in this decade, right? So I'm getting very excited for it all. Trying to practice patience every day, trying to get back into my 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. wake up. So we're getting there, you know, brick by brick. Have you seen, Austin, that Will Smith interview where he talks about laying a brick as perfectly as you can lay that brick when you're building a wall? That no matter how long it takes you, that you have the utmost confidence in your bricklaying abilities, that you set the foundation the right way for everything to essentially align over time, right? Have you heard that? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't heard that one, but I totally agree. Could not have agreed more.
Yeah, man, it's I remember coming across that. It was, it shifted my life at that point in time, and I never forgot it, you know. And the reason I bring it up is because I wanted to turn right into One Blue Land, and I feel like if you haven't already, some of your comics and some of your snippets are going to create that spark in somebody to see something from a different perspective. Because let's face it, like, here you have a very awesome NFT project in the fact that you provide so much front-facing value in the knowledge and the education perspective. It's mind-boggling. So I'm gonna let you talk here. Is there anything you'd like to kind of introduce to the audience watching? Let's go back over here.
No, I mean, no, thanks for you guys are putting me in the spotlight again.
Yeah, hey, we're testing it.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, if you haven't heard from the last podcast, the main reason I created One Blue Land was just to show people the importance of taking control of your finances, because you know there's certain people that are left in the dark. Like for me, for example, I haven't heard anything about finance since I turned 30. I knew nothing about finance. I was in a lot of debt. I was negative 40K in credit card, despite having a stable income. So then I questioned myself, like, why is that? You know, like, why did I live life like this? 30 years, you know, good education, went to college, yet none of this stuff is taught in school. Like, what are they teaching? I mean, there's a lot of really good subjects, definitely, but finance is not one of them. And now with the internet, things are definitely changing, but I still feel like there's still a certain group of people out there that are left in the dark. For example, myself, I consider myself a gamer. I played a lot of games back then, wasted like thousands and thousands of hours playing Warcraft, Starcraft, computer games, Dragon Ball Z. And I'm attracted to these characters, these stories, the adventure behind it. Yet none of it is about finance. So why is that? I think it's because finance is just introduced to us so dry and boring that we tend to gravitate away from it. And I feel like if there's some sort of content out there that makes finance essentially, fun or like attractive, or just have these cool stories, I think if I read something like that when I was a kid, I think I probably would have thought of life a little differently. Because, like I said, I wasn't inspired to do any of these stuff until I hit 30. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really waste it, but because I don't regret anything. But I feel like I don't regret anything. You learn from mistakes. It's better 30 now than 40, 50, 60. But I still feel like if I learned all of this when I was in my teens, I think things would have been different. So that's the reason One Blue Land was created. The Blue Land essentially is the my vision of freedom. And let's face it, you know, in order to be happy, you definitely need. I mean, you need money. You don't need a lot of money or as much money as people think, but money does provide that option, that choice. And in the end, it's all about freeing time and what you do with that time. So it still kind of roots back to money, you know. But I think people just have to. I think people just have to figure out how much money do they really need to be happy and to live that lifestyle that they want. I'm sorry to cut you off there. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's a double-edged sword. I couldn't agree more. You know, it's case by case as well, like you're saying. Everybody's a little different, and having that self-awareness to want to explore that option and say, okay, what's the minimum I can live on? I think is a strength in itself. And that's one of the things that really caught my eye with your approach is. I remember when I first said your project name to Scott, and he's like, "What's that?" And then I stopped talking to him because I was so stuck on reading and I was so interested, right, in the content. I was like, I didn't have to buy the NFT to see this and learn this type of thing, you know? And I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And going back on what you were saying, like, it's not being shown in, I should probably show my face, huh? It's not being shown in schools at a younger age because I don't want to say they're setting us up for failure, but I feel like the school systems are outdated quite a bit, and the curriculums need to be, you know, just like businesses and markets and economies pivot and adapt with the times, so should the education system, shouldn't it? Right? Because I feel like the education system out of you know all the industries, it's one of the least evolving. That and the DMV database. Not the same. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. But I feel like they're the slowest to evolve and adapt. Now, that could just be my perspective of the education system with is, you know, I've been a foot out of the door for a little while now from that perspective. Right. So there could very well be programs and things I'm unaware of that has already started to shift this. But I know I just squirreled off to a rant there, but man, that's why I fell in love with your project, and we believe in you. You know what I mean? Because your purpose, because your story. You know what I mean? You felt the feelings that most all of us feel, right? And you're not just creating a project to be perceived as that person who has felt those feelings. You have actually gone through the struggle. And I mean, just the value you're providing is just astonishing. So just want to tip my hat off to you that I'm not wearing today.
No, I thank you guys again for, you know, allowing me to be in your platform also, because this is my third podcast ever. So
I love it.
I'm still learning. I'm still coming out of my shell. It's hard, but you know, just seeing, like I said, just interacting with you guys, seeing you guys learn from mistakes as well. I think it helped me. It helped push me go out there and just take things as they come, because nothing's gonna be perfect. I think you just gotta do it. We just gotta show the world the things that we believe in and that we're passionate about. And whatever you told me, I want to give it right back to you guys, because because your project as well. You guys have such I could tell you guys have such passion for it too, and it's gonna do so many good things for the world, which is why I'm so glad that we connected this early. And you know, like I always hear you say, you know, we're only 7 seconds in, and I really do feel like you guys are also maybe half a second in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely sugarcoating the time frame there. We're definitely like 3/4. Maybe, you know what? I love it. 0.77 of a second.
There you go.
We're not even one full second.
Fraction of a
oh
second.
man, but I really appreciate that. It's you know, I'm just grateful to be here at this moment in time, right? To be operating in this space, to have the opportunity to build this idea out, and to really just go after what I want to do out of life, right? And the impact we want to leave, that legacy, that that what's the term I'm looking for? I think I'm about to butcher this, but it comes from. So I'm translating this from Portuguese, but it's essentially like along the lines of like etching your name in that legacy stone. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't translate well. Sorry. Squirrel moment. Yeah. So I tried to like on the fly. So like what you're experiencing here is, man, like, and I just got to shout out our community, right? It's everybody here is just so willing to work with the ebbs and the flows. Like what you're saying, overcoming that fear of doing these interviews. Man, like I'm still nervous before we start. And like what Jeremy's doing with his page, with how he's able to go live and then cut a segment. Well, it's just, I'm just so grateful to be here because I'm also learning from him. I'm learning from you. We're all learning from each other. It's like this melting pot of knowledge and resources and community and love. It's amazing. So, you know, I know we're going to go back and forth with these thank yous, man, but super grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super grateful.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and yeah, I was going to say Jeremy too. He was actually my first, podcast, and you know, I still haven't looked back at the tape yet, so but I think one day I'll just look back to it and, you know, see hopefully how far we've come. I'm gonna look back to these interviews that we have right now, and I just want to see how different or maybe the same that we are, because I know down the line we're gonna hit those hopefully hit those milestones, and you know, I'm excited for it.
Why did you just wave? Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, why'd you wave?
I was like, why'd you just wave? You just totally squirreled.
Because Gary said hi, Scott.
Yeah, so Scott's probably been like looking away. Yeah, no, Scott, I've noticed he's kind of just like
just chilling, you know, just hanging out on Marcelo's podcast.
You totally just got me
his blog
sidetracked. Thanks, Scott. Oh my goodness,
Gary, the detail-oriented Numbo Octopus.
Yeah,
Gary.
So he's in the Twitch
chat.
Man.
And
I guess he's watching the Twitch chat right now, so he saw it.
Shout out to Gary.
Yeah,
he was the one that connected me to you guys.
Exactly.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Like
that's cool.
Gary is that underlying, like, I don't want to say Cupid. Cupid's probably the wrong word, but like community organizer. You know what I mean? So shout out Gary. Like you saw something unique in 2 projects, and you're like, you guys have to connect.
Dude, it's your VeeFriends. You guys stick together. You guys are a squad.
Why are you saying you guys? You say it like you're never gonna get one.
I'm just saying because I'm not there yet. When I am a part of the
like
cool
how
kids
he said
club,
yet.
Then I'll be like,
not yet.
So Gary just said that was awesome. I am literally laughing my ass off right
now. He probably was reading my thoughts right then. He's like, "Hi, Scott," because I was like, "Wow."
Oh, VeeFriends for life.
You know, I just want to jump in there, say a few words.
Yeah. So go for it. I'm sorry. Squirrel.
No, I love it. Because you guys were just talking about the rat race and sort of how school doesn't, or sorry, you weren't talking about the rat race. I wanted to talk about the rat race, but you guys were talking about school and how it kind of doesn't really prepare you for all of that, you know, external knowledge, like financial knowledge that you would hope to come out of school with. And instead it kind of prepares you for the rat race. It makes you more of a worker than a thinker. And I wanted to talk to Austin a bit more about like the rat race and how we fall into that, and then how we also break out of that, because I see that's a big part of your you know, One Blue Land, it's just below core principles.
Yeah, so I think like just the way we were conditioned, the rat race is essentially you grow up, right, you go to school, you go in debt, you get a job, and then you work for, let's say, you know, until you're 65 years old, and then you retire. So to me, the rat race is when somebody has not achieved their goals, or they don't necessarily enjoy what they do. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, there's people that love their jobs, so they're not necessarily in the rat race. So for them, definitely school, college, you know, master's degree, stuff like that. For them, they're not in the rat race yet. They still, you know, went through school and went through that phase. But if you're somebody that that don't necessarily, that you hate going to work on Mondays, you're always looking forward to Fridays, you're always looking forward to the weekends, then I think you're somebody that'll fall in the category of being stuck, right, in that rat race. So the good thing is there's a way to get out of it. You just really have to take control and do so much homework. Take control of your finances. Read finance podcasts. Not read. Listen to finance podcasts. Read a lot of books, and just open your mind. But the problem is, how do you get to that point if you're always tired? You're always tired after work. You have a family to take care of. You have kids. So how do you find the time to do the research? And I think that's the problem. It feels like you're just going to work, going to school, going to work, going home, going to work, going home. So that's one of the main reasons I created these characters, these comic books, these stories, is to infuse that the lessons, the finance lessons that I think are super important into these stories. So that way, for example, you want to go home and you just want to watch TV or a movie or read comic books. So these stories have that finance lessons built into them. And I just hope that, somebody that's reading it or watching it in YouTube, I hope they get triggered and something sparks. Because once that spark is on fire, it's, for me at least, it's never going to stop. The problem is, how do you get somebody to that point where they're so passionate about learning about all these things? And I think that's the problem that we have right here. It's the inspiration and just the conditioning that society has on everybody. There's not enough. I think there's a lot of finance content out there, but I don't think there's as much fun content. And I think I'm attempting to make the whole finance thing more palatable for a certain group of people. And that's why One Bulano was created.
For sure.
No, thanks. Like, for example, like why do I even have Bitcoin as my main guy here, Captain Bitcoin, right? Mm-hmm. Because when it's early, I mean, not financial advice, nothing's financial advice, but when things are early, the mainstream's not going to talk about it. You know what I mean? When the most gains are made when you do your own research, when things are uncertain. And that's exactly how I found Bitcoin back in around 2017. Like, nobody taught me about the Bitcoin or crypto. I had to do the research, but that's exactly when the good time was to invest. I mean, right now it's still very early, but you know what I'm trying to say? It's like you have to take accountability of your own research, your own actions, and you have to do the research yourself, because there's so much information out there that you're going to have to learn how to filter it. And you're going to have to learn how to keep an open mind when it comes to these things, especially about finance, because everybody has different styles. Everybody has different risk tolerances, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the research mitigates the fear. And that's exactly why I had Captain Bitcoin as one of my main characters. It's because he represents somebody that actually found cryptocurrency, found Bitcoin, essentially found Satoshi. You guys, Satoshi. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to that the NFT Satoshi that you guys bought 2 weeks ago. But he's somebody that found crypto, Bitcoin, and took action, even though he wasn't that rat race. He was somebody that really did his research and essentially is now striving for financial freedom. So there's a lot of lessons like that I have in these comic books, and it's still the beginning. I only have one issue. I mean, one issue. Yeah, Captain Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The second issue is actually going to come out in September, and I'm very excited for that. If you scroll down, oh sorry, I see what you have right here. If you go to the main page, oh yeah, you're in the rat race. Just go back to that main page.
See, I think you click to go up. Page. No, go up.
Oh, just click one blue land. It'll take you to the home page.
Mm-hmm. I want to make sure. Are we staring at the same screen? Yeah,
I think we're at the same one now.
There we go.
No, that's okay. You're in the comic book.
Comics or?
Oh, I was gonna just show the main page. Yeah, that one exactly. If you scroll down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's just delayed a bit.
It must be delayed there. Okay.
Okay. If you scroll down that main page, I was actually just gonna talk about a very important lesson that I wanted to show everybody out there, and it's all about inflation. So my second issue is all about how essentially people are underestimating inflation and how it's constantly devaluing the value of our money, of the dollar, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a oh sorry you went in there.
I think we went too
far. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Moon Rising. So I'm super excited about this release. It's going to be released on September 21. But this particular issue is, if you can see that monster behind those two main characters, he's called Burr. So
Burr,
yeah. So the reason I named him Burr was, I thought of something like, how do I put inflation into a character? Like what's somebody that's what's a good villain that's going to represent that? So I created a villain that had these large bazookas on his shoulders, just spurting out the cash. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to spoil too much about the story, but this particular story is about these two protagonists kind of overcoming that villain, that inflation villain. So yeah, I'm trying to find creative ways to infuse these lessons about to the comics anyway.
I love it. I mean, it's very creative. I'm a gamer too, old school. I love the guns that are arms. I mean, I fell in love immediately. And going back, so I wanted to touch on something you mentioned before when we were talking about the rat race. I really loved how you mentioned that you hope to be that spark. That spark in somebody's life where they're frustrated financially and they finally reached a point of making mistakes labeled X, Y, and Z, whatever those mistakes are, right? And they come across your website and it resonates with them. I remember you asked how, the trick is finding a way to make it approachable for everybody. And that's hard, right? Because everybody's unique. Everybody kind of has to go through their own, rock bottom. I know that's kind of talking in more addiction terms, but I feel like rock bottom can be used in a lot of different definitions, right? I feel like we all individually have to hit that rock bottom feeling and mindset of being like, you know what? I'm fucking frustrated. I'm done, type of thing. And I feel like with you, what you're doing is you're giving all of the tools that a person needs to spark that flame. It's just, are they going to figure out how to use it to create that spark? That's kind of like what was on my mind with what you were talking about there. And I think you've done a great job providing all the tools. It's just, does that person want to listen is the real question, right? I guess that's the challenge we all face as anybody who's running a business or running a project. Does my audience want to listen? My preferred audience. And I'm excited to see. So let me ask, I know I scrolled into a thought I had there. Why Moon Rising? Is it supposed to signify all these to the moon mindsets of we're going all the way to the top and there's going to be no more corrections type thing? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, the Moon Rising, it's actually named for it's about that character, that the female character right there in the cover page. It's how she essentially found her power. So this particular comic book talks about how these two twins, the male and female character right there. The left one is her name is Tsukiko. The right one is Rai. So Tsukiko means moon in Japanese, and Rai in the right side means lightning. So it was named Moon Rising because Tsukiko's power is actually the creation of like anti-gravity fields. She could fly. So essentially, there's a scene there where as she's trading, doing some trades on Bitcoin or on investments, as the price was going up, her powers were also going up. So she started rising. So that's why I named it Moon Rising.
Cool. I love it. That's great.
And what's cool about this, a little sneak peek, what's cool about the characters specifically, what I think anyway, is how they react to price fluctuations of stocks or like crypto, because for them they were very emotional on the price swings. So one of the main lessons that I'm trying to show people out there is don't be so stuck on the price, because if you invested your money on something that you research and that has truth to it, then the price fluctuations is just noise. And it's just going to go up later on. So that's one of the lessons that I'm trying to portray in this particular story, other than inflation. So yeah, just a little hint there.
I love it, and correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of am seeing hints of like lessons of being patient, right? Not looking at the short-term economics of the ups and the downs of how volatile it is, and believing that you did enough research to be confident in your decision long term. I kind of sensed you were hinting at that too, correct? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or am I way off?
No, you're right. I feel like I'm just trying to put patience. Definitely, that's a very important lesson. And like these stories, there's going to be more than one lesson in them. I'm just trying to portray it in a way that it's fun. That's all. Yeah. Because I don't know, for me, I love the style. I love the characters behind it. The artists really did a great job, I think, and
that's awesome.
I give them a lot of props. So I remember I mentioned it last time, but I'm going to mention it again. If you guys ever want to check out who these artists are, they're all in the About Me page. So huge shout out to them.
Right here. I'm gonna go pull that up while we're talking here.
And speaking of artists, like I think on the NFT space, going back to NFT Fridays, I think there are artists that are currently underrepresented, and I think the whole NFT revolution is just giving them a whole new way to really get their work out there, because there's just so much enthusiasm right now. And I think moving forward, that I think if you're an artist listening to this podcast, I really think you should try to get your work out there and maybe start learning about NFTs as well, because it's the future. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
NFTs, blockchain, they're not going anywhere.
I couldn't agree more. Everyone's gonna have their opinions, right? But it's all about believing in what we believe in, right, and moving forward, right, wholeheartedly, and just, I say religiously, right, because that's kind of like how I'll use the term. But when I have that utmost belief in something, I don't look the other way. I don't look back. You hear that cliche. You only look back to see how far you've come. But I really love the way you worded that there. As long as we have that belief and we do our research, we're happier, right? We're more free from those thoughts of struggle, especially financial struggle. And it all starts with believing in what you're doing, right? So sorry, I didn't mean to take away from the artists here.
Yeah, no, please.
So Scott, do you have any 2 cents here? I know you've been quiet here.
No, I'm just excited for the second comic edition too.
So are you going to be doing the same thing with your first initial release? Are you going to be doing these weekly releases? Are you going to have like a showing for the comic to where you do it in Decentraland or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm still learning, and I'm trying to change things up. But I think definitely this Decentraland thing is doing very well. I love Decentraland. I have it's also an NFT. Basically, for those that are listening that don't know what it is, it's essentially space in the metaverse where people could interact through a blockchain. It's kind of like next level social distancing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you guys have played, like things like World of Warcraft or like what is that, like Sims or something. Decentraland is like that on the blockchain, and nobody really can stop you. Nobody. There's no. You can't just unplug it. If the corporation, for example, were to go down, then there's something called a. I don't want to go too deep into it, but basically what I'm trying to say is it's a new way to interact, and I think I think artists are trying to find space in Decentraland to showcase their work. Mm-hmm. And I'm one of the lucky ones to be able to have an estate in Decentraland to showcase all these art and these comics. So whenever there's a release date, I actually we create these videos, these comic videos.
Yeah, we watched the first one.
Yeah, oh, nice,
yeah,
nice.
We went through and watched it. I liked how, especially towards the end, things get pretty animated.
Yeah.
It's really sick.
Thank you. No, I love the animation. I think the action sequences definitely need the animation.
Yeah.
But so what I do is whenever there's a release date, there's a video that comes with it in Decentraland. So I was blown away in the beginning. I was, my very first release, it was only like, I think, 30 people. I was happy. There was 30 people that even took time out of their lives to watch this movie with me in the metaverse. It was pretty interesting. But in the second event, I had I think 100 people, I think. Mm-hmm. And in the third event, I had 150 people. So then the streaming was kind of lagging. Mm-hmm. So I was just getting blown away that it's increasing slowly. But for this issue, I'm gonna have that same event happening.
Cool.
on release date.
Decentraland.
That's
yeah.
Thinking, right? And
all you guys have to do is hook up MetaMask.
Yeah.
And
I've been on there once or twice.
Okay.
I'm not super involved with Decentraland, but I've been on there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out in your Discord when that event's happening.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I want to touch on one quick note. Oh, no,
yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say, it's a pretty interesting feeling to be in a world where you're watching this movie together. And, it's like you have these avatars gathered around in this kind of like this movie theater like space. Mm-hmm. And you guys are kind of interacting with each other, watching the movie together in the internet. It's a pretty interesting experience, and I love it. I'm meeting so many cool people out there.
Yeah,
I love it too. It reminds me of that kind of like that freedom and WoW that you had, especially in PvP servers, where you could just roam around and meet people.
Yeah,
you're in the same faction, right? But
yeah,
it kind of gives me that feel. Now, I haven't spent too much time in Decentraland. I've definitely spent more time in, I think, Crypto Voxels. But I'm definitely interested. I will definitely hop in and come support you, and I'd love to attend your next one whenever that is.
Oh, thanks. Definitely.
Yeah, and Gary's mentioned.
I want to give a little hint there because you guys are Satoshi holders.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
So I'm working on a wearable in Decentraland that'll make you basically look like Satoshi. Wow. So the character. So you guys are gonna get basically you're gonna get a wearable airdrop in your MetaMask account or whatever you hold these accounts, and when you go to Decentraland, you're gonna look exactly like Satoshi.
Satoshis?
What?
That's
Let's
amazing.
go.
Wow.
Let's
So
fucking go.
yeah. So this is gonna be down the line though, maybe a couple of months from now. But just a little teaser out there, because just shout out to you guys and the Greek near NYC.
Oh yeah. Sick.
Yeah, and I know he's also one of the definitely like he's like the OG founder also for Monkey Bites.
Yeah.
He owns
the Genesis.
The Genesis, yeah.
He picked that up so quick. I wasn't expecting a sale by the time, because we launched the project and listed the 7 live.
It was like in the first
hour.
And
I turn off all notifications so I don't get my texts, emails. It's all away, right? And I was like, wait a second, because I had to check. So it was just amazing. So grateful for him and the belief, in our projects, both of us,
Yeah.
Oh, that was Scott typing.
Yeah, that was typing.
So you guys are the Satoshis. Yeah. As of right now.
Gary was like, "Oh my god, I need more Ethereum."
And I was about to say, so for anybody watching this right now who doesn't know what One Blue Land is, I encourage you to visit the website, check out oneblueland.com. And if you're familiar with Scott or I's public-facing wallets, we both have a Satoshi in there. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. But what Austin has just shared with us is he's going to be creating essentially avatars in the metaverse for these unique characters. Now, am I asking this too soon?
I don't think it's not necessarily avatars. It's wearables that you can
wear. It's wearables.
Wearables. I'm sorry. I meant to say, Thank you for catching that. No. Thank you for catching that. Do you have any plans that you haven't released for other characters? Are you going to do this for every character? Or are you going to be selective?
I was actually gonna I wanted to release just because there's only 21 Satoshis NFT, so there's only gonna be 21 wearables for that character. So that's what I'm trying to do. So for each character, they're gonna have their own that specific look in the metaverse in Decentraland. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool, and I think a lot of people will like it. So
that's really awesome. Now, Gary, gotta catch them all like it's Pokemon.
Now I'll have a reason to
Now I have to get them all. You know what I mean?
Wearables and stuff.
Oh man, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for that because I don't remember reading or hearing about that. So that's like one of those lovely little perks that you're already working on behind the scenes, which I think is just shows how much you care about the supporters and the audience and your community.
Oh yeah,
I want to go back and touch on. So for anybody just tuning in, maybe you're fast forwarding through the episode to get to where Austin's talking here about One Blue Land. Let's be very clear. It's not just an NFT project. He's doing something very unique. And Gary asked a question, right? This is more than just an NFT project. Just like Monkey Bites, right? We're very unique in. How are you planning to bridge the gap between mainstream comics and NFTs? So that's a question from Gary, aka Dream Joker, in the aka Broken, right, in Discords, in the chat. And I really loved the question because I know we've been saying NFT project, but you're providing so much more than just an NFT project and art. You're providing education and that underlying value. So I'd love to hear. And I'll repeat again because I know I went on a little squirrel moment. How are you planning to bridge that gap between mainstream comics and NFTs?
I think even though NFTs are becoming that word now, a lot of people heard about that word NFT. I think a lot of people still don't really know what it is. So I think when you mean bridging the gap, I think what I'm hoping at least is once somebody reads the comic, or because all the comics are free, all these stories are going to be free online, YouTube, Instagram, or just the main website. So what my plan is, I'm trying to get the stories, the comic books out there to different platforms. Like for example, maybe Comixology. Comixology is an Amazon company, and I know there's a lot of readers for comics books that uses Comixology. So what my hope is, hopefully I can get my stories out there, and when they read it, they keep hearing the word NFT, because when you go to my website, there's a tab there that says NFT. So hopefully once they read the stories, they did a little research, they go to oneblueland.com. Hopefully they're going to be curious about what an NFT is, and my job is to just hopefully provide that education to them, and give them resources to tell them what exactly it is, because let's face it, not everybody is well versed in any of these stuff. Cryptocurrencies, DeFi, non-fungible tokens, these are all like alien stuff. So I think the comics will kind of just serve as kind of like a segue, like a funnel,
it's like
to hopefully the website.
The comics are the gateway to the website.
Exactly.
NFTs.
Exactly.
I like that, yeah. They're essentially that door in, that window in, and the cool thing is you don't have to pay to look through this window or to step through this door. You can actually go and explore on your own.
Right.
I think just by like nature of the comic book, and by following through with the story and reading about the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, you'll learn about like the different topics and villains that Captain Bitcoin is going to be fighting. You'll already like sort of learn a lot of the language and the terms and stuff intrinsically, and then you'll be curious from that point on. Probably you're like, well, I know about all these like comic book wise, but how do I apply these to real life, or how will they apply to me in real life? And that's what will sort of come through.
And I'm that type of learner too. That's why I fell in love immediately. I love seeing the visual side of things, and then you add in the words and it paints the picture.
Yeah.
It actually tells me a story, and I'm a visual learner. So for me to see that, and then I'm questioned like, okay, what's this character's purpose, right?
Like the whole concept between Time Stealer.
Yeah, and you get curious about, wait a second, I don't fully understand the purpose of this character, but now I want to.
Yeah.
You brought that out in me, man. That's why I was immediately hooked. I saw you pulling up. Do you want me to pull up certain pages?
No, I was just looking.
Okay.
I'm always just clicking around.
Scott over here.
Like, people are probably wondering what.
Checking out the website.
Right. Literally just checking out the website, reading things.
But that's the goal though. Like you said, I mean, that's exactly my goal. Like I want to create that spark. I want to be that funnel, that inspiration for people to do more research into these topics. It's kind of like the comics are going to serve as hopefully the introduction. Otherwise a lot of people are just going to be left in the dark, not knowing any of these stuff that are super important, because it's financial education, it's going to change your life once you really know what's happening out there. I'm not here to give people financial advice or like go really deep into options trading or anything like that. These are just like the key fundamental concepts of what it takes to become financially free. Hence, One Blue Land, the home of financial freedom.
There you go.
We're going to bring it right back. No, I loved it. I wanted to squirrel into that, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I need to do better at that. Have we done pretty good on this episode as far as like, I know that Scott's been a bit mute.
I pick my times to speak. No, I think
you guys are doing a great job. Like, kudos to you guys. You guys are always looking for ways to improve, and I think I have a very good vibe with you guys. I feel like I'm very comfortable. I'm not as nervous as I was, during the first couple of podcasts. Like now I'm getting I'm pretty chill.
Yeah, you're getting in the hang of it. Did our
getting the hang of it.
Die? I'll fix this one. I'll let Scott entertain.
We never swapped batteries.
I know,
right? And we even talked about it too.
Yeah, we're like, don't put it.
Wait, no, you don't have to do all that. Hold on. You get back in frame.
Okay.
Get back in frame.
So, I know I promised you no more technical difficulties on this one.
No, don't worry.
Like, this one was unavoidable.
I used to have a battery, but then now I have those adapter that you can connect to the outlet.
Oh, no shit. So we can, it kind of reminds me of those battery packs for the Xbox controllers.
Yeah,
right?
We
You
can
just
run it,
infinitely plug it in.
Yeah,
and
you can run current.
You can run like a DC current
Hey,
to
there we
the
go.
camera.
Oh, we can. So we can run a DC current.
We could, yeah.
Well, depending on the model, I guess.
I know we
okay.
can. We're
This guy. He's like, I know. I like the motion of charging the battery, maybe.
Well, if we were just if I was just more on top of things and I changed the battery like I should, like a good boy, then we wouldn't have this issue.
It's okay. Nobody's blaming you.
It's more fun with these technical difficulties.
I know, but I love how he took accountability for that. He stood up.
Yes.
Yeah, just like we're talking about, you know, we take that step, that leap of faith into this world of finance and education when we're ready. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, gotta run. I'm getting squirreled on this comments. You know what I need to do, Austin? I would love your opinion on this real time. Should we put a chat window to the right? You see this empty space on our stream? I'm thinking we could always just input an overlay with the transparent background and show all the chats, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. That way you can also see us react and we can react together. You think
I think that'll be a great idea, because then you could kind of get the feedback real time and the audience could also see it on that screen. I think it's a good idea.
You also what?
I'm also chatting in there. So
nice.
It'll let people know what I'm doing when I'm typing over here, not paying attention.
Right? He's not hiding away. No, I love
because
it.
Once you put it on YouTube, I don't think you can see the chat anymore, right?
No,
So-
you can't.
No, you can't. So
Actually, that would be a good idea.
and now we're actually dual streaming. So
Yeah, we're on Twitch and
yeah,
YouTube.
on YouTube we start at the same time, and I learned how to do the timestamps. So what I'll do when we edit the description is we start with 00:00, and then show that that's the lobby, and then we figure out when the start time is. That way, anybody who's rewatching a BitmonkeyTV episode, they'll scroll down, they'll see, oh, this is where the episode actually starts, because we have that lobby time sometimes. And that was our solution, right? With the dual streaming. Well, we can't really go back and clip it. We'd have to remove the video, then upload the video again. So that's just a little trick that we learned. If that's helpful for you and what you're doing moving forward.
I think putting our stream or chat on here shouldn't be too difficult.
No, it's actually
literally just like
I could have done it.
adding a
I was
widget.
messing with it yesterday. That's why I asked. It's going to be a
Oh,
very
yeah.
easy implementation. So whenever we do our round 3, because I have a feeling it'll happen, in the future.
2 weeks.
We'll have that ready.
We'll have you
We'll have
bi-weekly.
that ready. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I mean, whenever you guys want me, I'll come over. It's we'll update each other on how things are going and stuff.
Exactly.
I'm always open. I'm just happy that you guys are allowing me to be in your platform, and
just
you guys are
checking it
super
out,
cool
of
guys.
course.
Listen,
Likewise,
man, I'm excited on how you guys are gonna develop Monkey Bites, and I just want to be part of that milestone each way. So let me know. Let me know whenever you want me on.
Oh, for sure. And I have a feeling we'll be doing more of these calls off air too.
Yeah.
Just chopping it up and helping each other with our projects and our ventures and our journeys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
See, we're at 1 hour and 15. Let's do a lightning round.
Ooh,
Question round to
so-
close it out. We'll hit
Oh
you
my
with
God.
questions.
Before we do, hold on, because I feel like I was in the middle of something, and maybe Austin was in the middle of explaining something. Let me think back. I know we just squirreled like squirrel right there.
I don't think you can unsquirrel yourself. Unsquirrel.
I find this
from
as a
one.
challenge. What do you think about this, Austin? Is this like somebody tells you can't unsquirrel yourself?
You can't. I dare you. I dare you to unsquirrel yourself.
It's like saying you don't understand what inflation means. Well, what are you gonna do? Give up and not look into it?
You're pausing because you're trying
Yeah.
to unsquirrel yourself.
I know I am. He knows me too well. Oh,
You're
man.
biding your time.
Well, is there any? Because I didn't want to just briefly get away from One Blue Land. Is there anything that you want to touch on that maybe we didn't talk about yet, and we can close it out and then do a lightning round to call it a day on Non-Fungible Token Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to close it off in One Blue Land, if you're listening to this podcast, what I ask of you is if you just click that button that says Core Principles. If you don't have time to read any of the comics, if you have just like 5 minutes tonight or whenever you're listening to this podcast, I think those are really the core principles that you should read because these are the things that I've learned, and these are the things that I'm infusing into these comics. Like that. Like, oh, I fixed that the ikigai misspelling, by the way. Got it.
I saw that. That was the first thing I saw when I scrolled to it earlier.
Yeah. So if you guys have time, just 5 minutes or whenever, just read through the core principles, because this is essentially the heart of these comics, these characters, and this is what I'm trying to base a lot of lessons on. Yeah, that's really it.
I love it.
Go. You guys,
I'm gonna make sure I'm slowly scrolling through for the recording here.
Yeah. Go take a read later, guys. Definitely. It's some really, really good stuff.
I'm going to reread them because I'd be honest, before our first stream, when I was doing my research on you, I did read them. But then between this week, between everything going on and then these lovely testing technical difficulties, this week I did not reread them. That's why I'm just noticing on the, I'm going to butcher this, ikigai. Yeah. Did I say that correctly? Ikigai.
Yeah.
I love what you did there. The words really pop.
Yeah, you changed the colors on those, right?
Yeah, and the style,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's cool.
But the last one, the 12, I really like, because I've read through all of them, but this one, there are 3 sides to every coin, which is, I mean, just that on its own.
Oh man, that's a powerful statement in itself, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to briefly touch on what that statement means to you?
Yeah.
Austin, I would love to hear.
So these principles are the very same principles that I live by every day since learning about finance and going into this financial freedom journey. But there are 3 sides to every coin just basically means you should always keep an open mind, because the story is not really necessarily what it seems. You could hear one side or the opposing side, but you should also see it from a third angle. I think you should essentially keep an open mind and not listen, not be stuck in this echo chamber of opinion. And what I mean by that is an echo chamber essentially is you're kind of just self-reinforcing your own thoughts and your own opinion over and over and over again, that you end up becoming stuck in that idea. So this principle means I think people should really consider listening to all to a story from all angles first before making their own decisions. Yeah, that's really it.
I love that. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking the time there to dig into that one. And I have a feeling we're gonna, future episodes, we'll maybe dig into maybe a core value, moral belief type focus, right?
Yeah.
Because this plays on that as well, and as you'll find with Monkey Bites, our core values are that of transparency and giving back. Those are the 2 primaries, so I just love that our missions, they're aligned. I mean, look, right as I say this, you're number 11, and just looking back, give back.
Give back.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
The universe couldn't be aligning the right people any better, in my opinion, between VeeFriends, between the community, between everybody jamming and coming together. I think it's just so awesome. So on that note, I think it's time to switch gears. Do we want to, is there anything else in the NFT world that we haven't talked about today that you, Scott or Austin, you would like to talk about? Because this is NFT Friday.
It is.
I know Scott's like sweating over here wanting to.
I'm just worried about the lightning round, because I didn't realize that my own weapon was going to be used against me.
So shout out to Austin. He gave us this idea, right, to help us with closing out these episodes, and I love it. It was brilliant. It was such like the vibe behind it. So I'm gonna let Scott and Austin jam. I'll be the question. I will be the what do you call it? What's the Jeopardy host?
The official squirrel, or
no, not the. It's like the host. I'll be the Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer. What is that? Is that a person?
Are you ready to rumble?
Is that his name?
Yeah, the Buffer brothers. They do the voice.
You guys did great, by the way. I saw that lightning round you guys did. I thought it was awesome. That was the very first time.
Lightning round,
right?
Yeah, no. I was there. I caught like the later round, but I did watch the whole thing again, and I think you guys did great, and I'm just happy you guys took the advice, and you guys seem to have fun with it.
Yeah,
man.
Was good.
Thank you. Like, thanks again. Like, that was really awesome. So, I will be the commentator here. Scott, Well, I guess you know what?
We should just take turns. Let's just take turns with the questions.
Okay, go for it.
Because then we can split airtime.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. You got this.
So
I'll try to be lightning. Lightning.
Okay, all right.
I feel like Austin should close out the episode, right? Or
What?
should he go first?
What are you talking about? He's not asking us. We're asking him these questions.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is us.
We're figuring this out live. See?
Yeah, we'll alternate. So I
Thanks
go
for your
one,
patience
you
with
go
us.
two. All right, Austin, your favorite book? Go.
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book that changed it all for me.
That's a good one.
Oh, so we're alternating
We're just
the asking
taking
of the
reading.
questions?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh.
That's it. I see. So Scott, curveball. Did you play baseball, man? What's your favorite NFT?
Favorite NFT? Well, I definitely love One Blue Land NFT, but other than that,
Solid choice.
I would go with VeeFriends. VeeFriends is definitely the top NFT project out there, I think.
All right, NFT project that you missed out on that you wish you got in on early.
CryptoPunks.
That's an easy one.
CryptoPunks. Yep.
Make quite a bit of money.
Favorite
if you're early
movie?
on that one.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is actually The Matrix. Yeah.
Which one?
Because I felt like I got out of the Matrix when I got out of the rat race.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're Neo.
Out of curiosity, did you have a particular favorite, or you just love the trilogy as a whole? All the movies.
I like the first one the best.
Me too.
When
It's that
Neo
OG.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when he started seeing that that green line, the code. Oh man.
Oh,
Goosebumps.
man. Exactly right. I remember watching that movie. I'm gonna squirrel away. I used to have my computer next to when I was younger and game a lot, and it'd be positioned right to where I can see the monitor if I got any notifications.
Yeah.
And I remember just waiting to see it back when I was.
Great
I
movie,
wanted to
man.
watch this
What?
happen.
Sorry, going back to you. Do you have a favorite, the trilogy or 1, 2, or 3?
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. The first one is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Good choice. The only negative I would have to say about the trilogy is how they ended it. You know, but I feel like a lot of productions have done that. They've ended things in such a way to where, first and foremost, it kind of pisses off the audience, right? At least it pissed me off.
It doesn't do the fan service.
But
they're not doing
it's
fan
like
service.
they're leaving the door open so they can come back in and do another production, is what that ultimately means, right? And I think that's selfish of them. They should have given us what we wanted. A bigger story.
Man, I'm gonna have to watch The Matrix again.
Right?
Maybe right after this, I'll watch it.
Now I need to I need to rewatch it because now I'm forgetting parts of
Let's
the
watch
trilogy.
it tonight. We'll all watch it. Watching party.
Hey,
in Decentraland.
can we-
Yeah.
Can we watch
There you go.
mainstream movies in Decentraland?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Well, you
technically
could stream
probably
anything.
can,
Okay.
but should you? Probably not. But you can.
Yeah, you can.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. Favorite song
right.
or artist?
Linkin Park.
Oh.
Definitely.
Ooh.
Going back to the old days.
That's a good one,
I mean,
yeah. Can't go wrong.
maybe like
in the
Numb.
end.
In the end. Oh, yeah.
The
Those are my.
trilogy should have had a finality. I love it. A finality.
Who said that?
Is what it is?
Ah,
All right.
Shout out to Yamaha RN.
Yamaha RN.
Yeah,
He's actually one of my friends. Shout out to Yamaha RN right there.
Shout out. Thanks.
One of my buddies.
I love it.
Squirrel Boy.
Oh yeah, biggest mistake or regret.
Not learning about finance earlier.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Love it.
Someone you look up to that you wish you could spend one full day with.
Gary V. Gary V. That's why I got VeeFriends, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
I know that was your answer too, right?
I believe
Marcelo,
so.
yeah.
Marcelo's.
Yeah.
I got stuck on that one. I
Yeah.
had to say Drake.
Drake, yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, Drake was your common.
Yeah.
So something fun. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think definitely it would be to time travel
Nice.
because I don't know. I think it's just going to be very cool.
That's a good one.
I'm not sure how it will affect
telekinetic powers. He's like,
so you remember my answer? I was like, well, I'd want to do this because with doing this, I could do this, and this. Right, and I was like, well, if I can control everything around me,
you wanted telekinesis
of my body floating through the air, I can technically teleport too.
Yeah.
So he was like,
because
I see what you did there.
I want to fly. Wait, no, you can fly with telekinesis. Okay, I want to teleport because I can go to places instantly. And he's like, well, technically, I could get there pretty instantly. And I'm like, God damn it. Yeah. His power's beating out my power, but you can't.
My imagination that's all it was. I was just imagining something that is just. Probably hasn't been created in the comic yet.
Telekinesis? I'm pretty sure.
No, but with the variables.
Oh, to be able to do anything with telekinesis.
Because there's certain limitations in these comics.
That's true if your mind is strong enough.
Telekinetics can do.
Yeah. All right,
Squirrel
Austin,
to the max right
where
there.
do you see crypto in 10 years?
I guess I'll start with price-wise. Price-wise, I think, I think BTC would probably be in the multi-six-figure range, I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think it'll be there. It'll be high up there, and I think Ethereum would probably be in the, I don't know, like 40K range, 50K range. But I think the cryptocurrency as a whole, I think it'll be part of everybody's retirement funds, retirement portfolios. It'll just be so integrated in society at that point that it's going to be reflected in the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm gonna go up because it looks like Scott skipped one. Huh?
Yeah.
If you could travel back in time when you were in your teens, what would you say to yourself?
I would say, just do it. Forget the fear. Forget the fear of judgment. Just do it.
Nike, just do it.
Just do it. Nike. Yep.
JDI, baby.
That's
JDI.
the theme of this all. Just start. You know what I mean? Overcome
just
that,
do it.
That fear. Just try it.
Yep.
All right. One thing that people are underestimating right now.
NFTs. I think it's still underestimated. We're still so early.
Yep.
Oh, I should have put it in full screen this whole time. Sorry about that. What's your favorite quote?
So this one I knew you were gonna ask me, so I prepared for it because the quote was kind of long. But you guys heard of the Brian Dyson quote? He was the former CEO of Coca-Cola. But this is my all-time favorite quote. He said, "Imagine life as a game in which you are juggling some 5 balls in the air. You name them work, family, health, friends, and spirit. And you're keeping all of these in the air. You will soon understand that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it'll bounce back. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friends, and spirit, they're all made of glass. If you drop one of these, they will irrevocably scuff, marked, nicked, damaged, and shattered. They will never be the same. And you must understand that and strive for balance in your life."
Wow, man, I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like you know how there's people who reuse quotes. I've definitely heard something along those lines, and man, I really love that you shared that one. That one's so powerful. I couldn't agree more with that. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, no.
Explaining a little further, maybe why.
No, I wasn't.
More meaningful.
I just wanted to get it out there. I think this quote is just so powerful, like you said. It's really all about balance, and in the end, family, friends. I mean, there's health. There's certain things that you just can't, I guess, fix once it's broken. So I think we should really take care of that. Work if you get fired, for example, or I don't know, knock on wood, if you die, or you
lose a job.
You're gonna be replaced. You're gonna be replaced the next day. I mean, people will move on, but these other things, the other 4 balls, they can't be replaced.
I love that, man. Man, you caught me off guard. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What is your favorite number?
My favorite number is actually also 7. So
I knew it.
Monkey Bites, yeah.
I knew that was.
That's
coming.
why I wanted.
I was like, Gary VeeFriends, he's got to be lucky number 7.
I wanted that 7 Monkey Bites, but that was already taken.
That's sweet.
Yeah, who got that? Who was smart? Sergio. Shout out Lucy Drop. I know he's got his own YouTube page. He pumps out a lot of cool content with light shows. That stuff is still mind-boggling me. I have no coordination in my fingers, so for me to try to do that, it's like I'll just like ram into each other and just All right. So
good.
I think with the speed rounds,
that's a lot of fun. Thanks, man.
Dude, I love that.
It's such a good suggestion.
No.
Do we flip it around? Do you want to ask us?
We've already done us.
It's up to Scott.
I guess we get to see if we change our answers. The records will show if our answers change.
We're at an hour and 30 minutes. I'm just trying to hold us into a decent,
I like that.
Maybe next time. We'll save it for next time.
We've already talked about us. Mm-hmm. We've already done that.
Yeah.
So
okay,
maybe for the third time we have.
Yeah. You know. I'll send you a new set of questions.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm thinking we should probably change the questions per guest too. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Alternate.
Maybe.
Alternate them
but
around.
yeah.
The
randomized list.
Yeah.
That it can pull from.
No, I love it, man. So, hour and 30 minutes. I think this is right around the time we're going to wrap up the episode.
Crushed it.
Really appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody watching. Let's shout out Austin really quick. I'm going to give you a full screen and give you a 30-second floor for you to shout anything out specific. Okay?
Yeah. No, thank you guys for having me again. I would love to be at our third podcast, maybe in a couple of weeks, months. Who knows? Just send me a DM.
Yes,
I guess
sir.
my closing statement again, just read the core principles. Really, those are really the most important lessons in life that I've learned ever since I went into this financial freedom journey. So just go back to the core lessons, read it, really just sit down and think about it. And yeah, I hope you guys get a lot of value out of that, because this is like 3 years worth of research that I've done, that I've infused into just one page. Mm-hmm. So I really hope people will find this very helpful and useful.
Yeah, and some great stuff.
Yeah, no doubt they will.
We're gonna have to do something where we get our whole Monkey Bite squad together with everybody from your crew and do the Decentraland thing when you do like that.
Oh, for sure.
I'll have everyone.
Oh man.
Together, crash the Decentraland servers.
You guys could do a stream in Decentraland too.
Actually, that would be kind of sick. Yeah, stream from inside Decentraland.
Yep, live stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Decentraland.
Who knows? Maybe we'll prep that for next Friday.
That would be sick.
We'll do a 30-minute gap of exploring Decentraland on NFT.
Yeah, we can introduce everyone to it.
Yeah, I love the mindset there. I think that's definitely going to be in the works.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Everybody watching,
being with us, Austin.
and Austin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
On this episode.
Till next time.
Yeah, till next time. This has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV.
Episode 34, actually.
Episode 34, Non-Fungible Token Friday. And my name is Marcelo.